Welcome back to San Antonio. RoughRiders starting a 4-game series against the Missions, and when you think the fastest players in the Texas League, Billy Burns, Delino DeShields, and the man to my right now, Trever Adams. Trever, inside the park home run last night. Congratulations. Did you ever think you were going to get one?
No. You asked me yesterday, had I ever hit one before, and I think my answer was yeah, in Little League maybe, but no, I didn't. When you hear inside the parker, you usually think, there's got to be some sort of air and it doesn't hold up, but I don't know how it did, but I guess it did, and you won't hear me complain about it.
Well, take me through what you're thinking before, during, and after. It was the very first pitch that you saw against a pitcher that you hadn't seen for about a month and a half. You saw the whole play develop right there in front of you, so take me through what was going through your head, if anything, in that sequence.
I hadn't seen him before, but that's kind of a thing that I've done with Midland almost the whole year is, I like to, and actually it's kind of with everybody, I like to see, even if I had seen him before, I like to see his command fastball, see how usually that first pitch that he throws you, it's, what he likes to throw the most of and what he can command. And that's usually the one I like to see, just, put it in my memory bank for the rest of the at-bats that I have off of the starter. But I kind of, right before I stepped into the box, I was just like, screw it. And got a pitch on the outer half that I've been swinging the bat really well the other way lately. So put a good swing on it. I hit the line drive the night before right at the first baseman on pretty much the same pitch it was probably 5-6 miles an hour harder, but this one got a little higher. And, after I watched the replay, I'm not really sure why Barfield dove the way he did for it, but I guess I owe him a big thanks for it, And as soon as I saw it, obviously I knew I wasn't getting over his head, so I was going hard out of the box. I thought for sure he had a single on it, and as soon as he dove, it went by him, and I guess I was off to the races.
So you're probably thinking a single initially, and then probably thinking triple. When did you say, okay, this trip's not going to end until I score?
Yeah, when I picked Woody up after I had got past second base, I was probably halfway to third, and I was picking him up, and he was still waving me hard, and I was eyes on him kind of the whole way to third base, and he never stopped, and he was about to hesitate, and then he kept waving me hard, and I was like, oh man, it's going to be a tired day the rest of the day after running this out. And I didn't really even think to pick up Joey behind the plate. If he was telling me to slide or stand up, I was like, if I'm getting inside the parker, there's going to be a play at the plate sometime. So I dove in there, and like I said, I owe thanks to Barfield in right field.
I think you get bonus points for the slide there, a little bit of flair at the end of that play. How much were you looking at the scoreboard thinking, okay, is that going to be a triple and an error, a single and a multitude of errors? Is that going to be an inside the park? Or were you looking at it and saying, hey, they're not putting anything up in that E column?
Yeah, I came in and asked, I was talking to Pat when I came in after I had, caught my breath and got some water, and I was like, what happened on it? Obviously I knew I saw it go by him and go almost to the wall, I think, and I don't. He said that he came up and threw it as hard as he could to third base, where when the cutoffs were lined up for 4 and there was nobody to cut the ball off and throw it to home, and I was like, so are they gonna change it to a triple? And he's like, no, I don't think they are. There was no air on the play. There was no air and throw. It went straight to third, and they didn't have time to throw you out at home. And I was like, wow, that's nice. But no, it didn't. And obviously, inside the parker is great. I've hit some home runs here this year, and I'm glad I put the good swing on it and I was able to actually get a hit out of it. So inside the parker is even better.
You've hit home runs, but that's set a new career high for you in home runs in a season. That was your 12th. So if there's ever a memorable way to do it, why not do it inside the park? Was the reaction a whole heck of a lot different in the dugout than in one of your more normal home runs?
Probably, just because, as much as I play the outfield this year, guys on the team, they know I'm not, slow. They know I can hold my own running-wise, but obviously I don't look the part. Compared to me, you were talking about Billy Burns, and obviously when you look at him, you're like, wow, this guy's going to fly if he runs, and that's not what people say when they look at me. So, it's good. I was talking to Blake Forsythe after the next inning, the half inning after. I said, did I at least look somewhat fast? And he goes, you didn't look slow. And I said, all right, I'll take it.
So now the gauntlet's been thrown now for Gallo. He leads the world in home runs, but he doesn't have an inside the Parker. You do.
Yeah, that's. I think I told you a couple weeks ago we were sitting on the bus. I was like, "Yeah, Joey, I know you got 31 home runs already, but I'm gonna try my hardest to get you in Frisco." And he's like, "Yeah, I hope you do, but I'm about to go off again, so you better step it up." And yeah, I think he hit like 6 in 7 games, so he's still got me.
We're here with Trever Adams, who earlier in the week got your first day off after a 48 consecutive game span. It was the first day off you'd had since you were on the disabled list late May, early June. Did you need it, and did you feel it maybe on that day off? Boy, this is something that I certainly could have used.
I came to the park ready to play about 2 weeks prior to that, maybe right after the 27 games in 26 days, whatever it was that started. Woody called me into the office and just said, "Hey, you need a day, how's your body?" And I told him, I was fine, and I was ready to go. Just kind of like last year, we had a couple of those talks last year when I played 136, 137 games out of the season. And he's like, "All right, well then I'll decide and I'll surprise you." And I was like, "All right, whatever, that's fine with me." So I came to the park, I was ready to play, and I definitely gave it a good sigh of relief. It was nice. It was nice. I definitely enjoyed it.
Tonight, San Antonio throws Joe Ross, pitcher who worked against you guys on Saturday. I'm not sure how much you remember from specifics of facing him, but is there anything that you can take from what you guys did against him on Saturday night, here facing him again today? Because he was pretty tough the last time.
Yeah, that was a good pitcher's duel last week when we played him. I want to say it was Asher against him last week too. So it'll be the same night. We know he's a guy that likes to get ahead with fastballs. He's got a couple off-speed pitches that he doesn't obviously command as well as his fastball, but that fastball he can run it up there mid-90s, and he can run it. He likes throwing it in and out, and obviously if you can do that with mid-90s fastball, you can do a lot. You can go deep in the game, especially against obviously a Double-A lineup, and not taking any credit away from us. I think we fight a lot at the plate, and I think we put together a lot of good at bats. But I know we got the win last week in this game last week, but I think we need to be aggressive early. If he's going to throw that fastball, there's no point in getting to the off speed. If he's going to attack with the fastball, why not swing early?
One thing that we've noticed is that you guys have been so much better the second time you faced a pitcher than that first time. Is it a noticeable adjustment in the meeting that you have with Jason over what the game plan is, and just having that one game's worth of experience does you that much good?
Meeting-wise, it's kind of the same thing. Just get after the guy early. Woody always tells us, based off the results that we've had in the season, when we score first and when we attack early, we win. We've won a lot of those games, and we do win a lot of those games when we attack early. And I think tonight it's when we're facing a pitcher the second time, I think we, as hitters, like I said in the Double-A, we've all been here. We've been around. We've had a lot of professional at bats, and I think obviously when we were able to put someone in our memory bank after we hadn't seen him before, we know what we're going to get from him. We know what we got to do with it and when we can do it. So, like I said, for me, my game plan for the night is I'm going to be as aggressive as I can to the fastball. I know last week I think I saw maybe one off-speed pitch, and they really tried to force me to pull the ball because I had been hitting the ball the other way, especially coming from San Antonio and then back home playing them again. And all of my damage has been to the opposite field, so I'm assuming that's going to be my game plan again tonight. Look for my pitch out over the plate, try and put a good swing on it to right center, and if he comes in, just hopefully react enough to get the head out.
Well, I know this is known as a pitcher's ballpark, but I look out there, I see a huge right field, I see a lot of space for you to put the ball, and for the fastest man alive to maybe pick up inside the Parker number 2. Trever, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks, Alex.
That's Trever Adams. We're back right after this here on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.